Olivia Letts and her late husband, Richard Letts, have been and were outstanding members of both of the Black community and the Lansing community for many years. Richard died in 1997. Olivia, who lives in Lansing, has had and continues to have a full and interesting life and memories of Lansing then and now. She was an elementary school teacher and then a principal at the Post Oak School for many years, and is now retired and enjoying an active life with her family and her friends. Olivia, tell us first what it was like when you and Dick moved here.
Well, Richard was born here, so he has lived here, all his life, and is truly in love with Lansing, and that's why they called him Mr. Lansing when he died, and that was, as I said, in 1997, and right after his funeral, the Letts Community Center opened. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say open. They changed the name in 1997, just in November, and he had just died, and it became Richard and Olivia Letts Center, which, talking about not being a martyr soul, I just thought that was such a wonderful thing to have happen to both of us.
Oh, I think so too.
And I go to Letts Center once a week. I play bridge there, and occasionally I go there more often. Frankly, I just was there Tuesday night in my land dance class. But
that's wonderful.
I just think, one has to keep active, and times have changed so much. When I first came to town, there were many more schools than they are now. Now they're talking about even, making them in a different manner and what have you. But there were at least, I believe, about 40 elementary schools in, and now it's down to 20-some, I believe.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it?
So times have really changed, and children, whereas it was really a 100% black school, it may not have been that way in the morning, but if there was a Caucasian child there by the afternoon, they had gone to a different school.
Is that right?
So, as I said, it was a very small school, but we had some wonderful parents there. In fact, I can remember one of the parents, the Bowles family, and the granddaughter is on the present city council.
Is that right?
Yes, Mrs. I can't think of her first name, but her married name is Robinson. And I just thought that's really kind of a nice thing over the years to be able to see.
Yes, indeed.
So, but we've had a lot of supportive people in town. As I always say, that I lived with my mother-in-law when I first came to town in 1951. I lived with my mother-in-law for 3 years. And as I said, I could not say one bad thing about my mother-in-law.
What a nice thing.
And to be able to say that when you've lived with a mother-in-law in a very small home. But
that's wonderful.
Was always
a cherished memory.
It is a cherished memory. And she was at Bircham Hills for 7 years before she died. And her daughter is at Bircham Hills right now.
Is that right?
Yeah. And, but there are lots of things that I can remember about Lansing. Before they put the Highway 496 through, we had a number of stores, and I believe the only one that I can think of, the person who's still around doing that is used to be Letts Fashions when he was on St. Joe way back. But he has Letts Bridal still going right now. So for at least 50-some years, he has been in business. And he started out just going door to door selling hosiery. And his dad had Fayette and Sons furnace and heating and air conditioning. And for over 50 years, Fayette and Son was in town. So we've had a number of people doing some nice things, and I have been very fortunate to be a part of, such a good family. And
I think we've been fortunate to have that good family here.
Well, thank you very much for that. I was trying to think of what else I could say about Lansing that would be of interest to the public. Well, when I went, as I said, I went from being at Lincoln School, which was all black, to Post Oak School, and there was one black family at Post Oak School in the regular kindergarten through sixth grade. And I saw that person, the mother, just this morning. She had 3 daughters, and she had them write poetry when they were in elementary school. And wonderful. She published their book. Wonderful. And I still know her. She's a doctor in town. Well, she's retired now, but Dr. Georgia Johnson. And her 3 girls and the poetry and the books that she wrote.
I know her.
You know Dr. Johnson.
I like her a lot.
Well, as I said, she is a person who marches to her own drummer, too. Anybody who is doing the kinds of things like she runs in marathons, and she just does so many outstanding things. And we have a number of people who are still doing a number of things in town, as I remember. And I get to see them because I belong to Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and our chapter, Delta Tau Omega, meets once a month for breakfast. But our chapter and the other chapter in town meet for breakfast, especially the retirees. We try to stay in touch with one another.
That's so important, I think.
And I think as we get older, and we're just so pleased that we are able to keep moving. Some may be, on canes and in wheelchairs, and some people are even doing different things like getting married. One of our members just got married within the past month. So, as I said, we still keep moving.
That's the spirit. That's what it takes.
That's so true. And, of course, I always brag about my daughter who was born in Lansing, but Lansing was not quite big enough for her, so that she lives in Chicago, which is where I was born.
Oh,
but
right?
Nevertheless, when I got a job, I wasn't even 21 years old, and I taught in Chicago for 3 years. But
well, tell us about her. What is she doing in Chicago?
My daughter has a law firm.
I knew that.
She has a law firm, and by Chicago standards, it's not huge, but they have a dozen or so lawyers, which is pretty good. And
I think so.
Some of her, in fact, one of her classmates was just in town this week with her husband, and so she got to see one of her old friends in the past few days. And I have been fortunate in the people that I have known, not only in schools, but in the other activities. Like I now volunteer at the Book Bureau, which is just in the basement part of the Lansing Public Library. Right. They have the Book Bureau where you can get books for almost free. I mean, the prices are so reasonable. And we keep trying to publicize that to the extent that we're able to, because we want people to know about the kinds of bargains that you can get here in town. So, I was just trying to think, is there anything else that I can think of to tell you that you might be interested in really knowing? And I cannot, you'll have to help me right now. Tell me if there's some other kind of experience that you might think that I could enlarge or elaborate on.
As the years have gone by and black and white relationships have changed, what is your feeling there? Has that been easy? Has it been welcome? Has it been satisfying?
Well, I feel that, there are always going to be problems because that's just the society we live in. But I think, thinking of Lansing on the whole, I think we have come a mighty long way. It used to be that most of the African Americans lived on the west side. Now we are everywhere.
Yes.
And It might be that we might have some problems living in some places, but I think if they are, they're probably based on money these days rather than our race. And because we are in, if you notice, in most of the schools outside of the Lansing area. If you look at the ball teams, we certainly are well represented. Indeed, on those.
You are.
And hopefully in the academic areas, because I'm always trying to say, can we promote academics to the extent that we promote athletics? And we keep working at that.
Well, and you can, and you do, and you're succeeding, I think.
Well, good. We just want to be sure that the people who are working really hard, doing good things on the academic level, get recognized for those kinds of things that they do.
Absolutely.
And so there are so many avenues open that it's hard to find good people who want to be school teachers. Because school teachers, I think we need to have the very best.
There's no doubt about that.
But when minorities have so many more opportunities now, and they're taking advantage of the opportunities. So along with being in education, there are so many fields that they can be a part of these days.
But I think that's a very positive change.
Well, I think it's just wonderful that people have the great opportunities, but I don't want us to lose good people in education either.
Right.
But life is just full of changes. And if you're going to be flexible, then you're going to enjoy the changes. And if you're inflexible, and it gets to be harder as one gets older to stay flexible, but if you're not, you really are not going to enjoy the 2009 and look forward to good things that I think are bound to happen. I keep saying we're not doing so well now, but we just have to say this is one of the down periods, and it's not going to last forever.
We will recover.
We will recover, and I have lived long enough to see some of the downs during the Depression and some of the highs, and we're at the down now, but there will be other highs.
I think that's a cheerful message.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
This has just been a wonderful experience.